The movie starts with a superhero named Lightspeed, who is fighting with a monster. After some time, we find out that it is only a video game. A young boy named Reid is playing the game under the username Fearless. He is about to reach the final level. After this, we see that the superhero Lightspeed is the father of 3 babies. The babies also have powers, but they don't know how to control their powers. Lightspeed fights the monster and kills it. Then a big spaceship comes there, and this is the ship of Dr. Arcanus. He is the game's main antagonist, and he doesn't have any powers. He tells Lightspeed that he will take all of his powers in the next level of the game, and after their conversation, Lightspeed makes him run for his life. Now, before going to play the final level, Lightspeed drops his children at a daycare and attaches an interplanetary communicator to one of his babies so that worker can call Lightspeed in case of any emergency. Dr. Arcanus comes to daycare with his loyal Fleech and steals the babies of Lightspeed from there. When Lightspeed comes to know about the abduction of the babies, he gets furious. Actually, Arcanus wants to take the powers of the babies so that he can conquer the whole galaxy. On Arcanus's ship, Fleech seems to have trouble controlling the babies. They mistakenly walk into the escaping pod and launch it outside the spaceship. The pod goes into the wormhole and lands on Earth in front of Reid's house. US military detects that a UFO has crashed on Earth. The military's general orders the soldiers to figure out more about the UFO. When Arcanus discovers that the babies are gone, he gets very angry at Fleech and orders him to find them. Meanwhile, Reid's school partner Melanie arrives at his house to complete a science project. The babies come inside Reid's house. After watching them, Reid couldn't believe his eyes that the babies came out of the video game. Melanie asks Reid about the babies. He tells her that these babies are from the game and have superpowers. Melanie doesn't believe his story, but shortly after the babies start using their powers after watching this, Melanie gets convinced that Reid is telling her the truth. Meanwhile, Arcanus has tracked the babies and coming towards the Earth. When the military finds out that an unidentified object is entering the Earth's atmosphere, the general orders the army to prepare for the war. On the other side, Lightspeed has reached the secret base of Arcanus. There he gets confronted by some robots. He starts fighting with the robots and trounces them. But Doctor captures him in a cage and sends him into the maze. After this, we see that Arcanus' spaceship has reached the Earth. He comes out of the ship and launches his drones to find the babies. The following morning Reid finds the communicator and presses a button on it. After pressing the button, they get connected to Lightspeed. He explains that these are his babies and he will track their location to retrieve them. He also tells them that Arcanus is after the babies and he wants the powers of his babies. If he is able to get the powers, then no one can stop him from conquering the galaxy. During their conversation, one of the babies breaks the communicator. Now Lightspeed is unable to track their location. Melanie suggests to Reid that they have to get away from his house to stay safe. Now they pack everything and leave the house. Arcanus arrives at Reid's home after they leave, but he can't find anything. In their way, some soldiers stop Reid's car and get shocked after watching the babies' incredible abilities. But somehow, Reid manages to escape with the babies. The military arrives at Reid's house and barricades the whole location. A soldier tells the general that our soldiers saw a baby with incredible powers. In the next scene, Reid and Melanie reach the lake with the babies. Reid starts to take care of the babies, and Melanie tries to fix the communicator, but is unable to do so because of its tiny parts. Reid asks a baby to enlarge the communicator parts using his powers. The baby enlarges the parts. Now they put the pieces together, but unfortunately, the communicator does not work because of its weak signal. On the other side, Lightspeed is trying to get out of the maze, and some monsters attack him. Reid tries to make a baby laugh, but accidentally scares him, causing the baby to run away from there. They all went after him by tracking his marks on the road. They eventually reach a bridge. When they are trying to calm the baby down, a truck at high speed is heading towards them and is about to hit them all, but the baby stops the truck using his powers. Sometime later, army arrives there and captures all of the babies, including Reid and Melanie. Suddenly, Arcanus comes there and freezes the soldiers using his gun and takes the babies to his ship. Now, Melanie finds a satellite transceiver and tells Reid that they can use this to enhance the communicator signal so that they can contact Lightspeed. Reid steals a motorcycle to follow Arcanus' tracks. Melanie manages to successfully contact Lightspeed, allowing him to track their location. Now they jump from the cliff's edge with a motorcycle to get into the Arcanus ship. On the other side, Lightspeed has managed to get out of the maze. On Earth, Arcanus has successfully transferred the powers of the babies into his body. Now Reid tells Melanie to find the babies and he will try to stop the ship. He reaches the ship's control room and destroys the control panel using a gun, which causes the ship to get unstable and crashes on the ground. Arcanus comes out of the ship and he has become very powerful after stealing the baby's powers. He grows into the bigger form of himself, starts attacking the army, and creates chaos. Now babies learn to control their powers, and by fighting together, they defeat Arcanus using their powers. After the fight, Lightspeed comes there and takes babies back home with him. A few days later, we see that Reid and Melanie are dating. In the middle of their date, a giant monster comes there. After watching the monster, Melanie says to Reid, "Game on, fearless." Reid replies to her, "We are taking this game to another level," and the movie ends here.